Again, it opens up. It's the same look and feel, and the user's a little upset because the app's not working right. They close it out again. They open it again, and they reboot, log off, log back on, etc. Eventually, they're going to call the help desk. The help desk is then going to have them do the exact same thing that they just did and then tell them they have a corrupted profile, possibly hand it off to that VDI team, or possibly hand it off to the desktop team if it's your existing environment without VDI. Well, the answer to fix the problem is to actually delete that user's profile. Now, think about it. If you look at my screen right now, I have a wallpaper that says Windows XP with a couple different colored balls that are on the screen. If I was to delete my profile, I would lose that, my icon position, and everything that I had set up. I could have documents and everything in this environment. I lose everything for the fact that my Microsoft Word is not working. What if AppSense can handle a little bit differently? We would ask the user, instead of deleting your entire profile, we would ask the user to close out their application, and from a management console, we'll go ahead and open that up, the help desk would launch something called a personalization analysis. Go ahead and get that up on the screen. Now, I've clicked a couple buttons, and I'm not going to go over that, but essentially the help desk would type in the user's name here at the top, and we'd click the display button. We would ask the user, what program are you having a problem with? They're going to say Microsoft Word. We're then going to ask, when was Word last working? Was it working this morning? Was it working yesterday? Was it working a week ago? And, you know, Mandy replies back and says, I know on the 5th it was working just fine. We click continue, and it's done. Now, Mandy, number one, has not logged off. She has not rebooted her PC. All she did was close her application and call the help desk. Help desk would then tell Mandy, double-click on Word and let me know if everything is okay. When Word launches, it opens up to the exact same look and feel as when it was working on the actual 5th of August. So what we do as AppSense is we take a snapshot of every single application that a user utilizes during the day. And if there is a change within that application that is a setting change, we then snapshot that at 1 a.m. in the morning. So we allow the users to roll back without affecting the entire profile. So now your help desk calls are going to drop, you know, over 70% within corrupted profiles, and we're going to be able to fix that problem within that user's environment. What if they, you know, really destroyed the desktop and there was a problem with their desktop? Within the actual environment, we actually could roll back the desktop. We could roll back any application we decide to manage. So with Environment Manager, we give you the ability within your environment to not only manage that policy side, but to also manage that personalization. And I want to show you a couple other features in here. Now, we're not asking, as AppSense, to reinvent the wheel. We're not asking you to take and rip out AD. We work with AD. We never make any changes to Active Directory. So don't think we're going to come in there and we're going to replace it. What we do is we make things happen faster. We'll take your existing Active Directory environment. We're going to read it using LDAP, and we're going to allow you to apply different actions as if you would do that within a policy or a procedure or a logon script. And some of those different actions can be file and folder manipulation, copying a file, moving a file. We can do folder redirection. So if we want to redirect, you know, the desktop, we want to redirect documents, the cookies, whatever it is, we can redirect that to different locations. Instead of scripting this out or working with complex policies and conditions within AD, we can use AppSense Environment Manager to be able to deliver that. And again, I'm going to keep this very high level today, but I'm not going to go over a feature. But you can look at some of these anywhere from mapping of printer drives, mapping regular drives. We can work with streamed applications, whether it's Citrix, whether it's Microsoft or third party. We can help you with group policies within your environment to make sure they're set up correctly. And we can do all this based on what's called conditions. So a lot of companies, they create what's called you know, policies and OUs within their environment. So when a user, you know, logs into AD, and if they're a member of a certain OU, they get all these scripts and policies brought down. What if one of those users are unique and they need to have more rights or less rights? They need to have different settings within a particular application. You have to go through some complex setting up within Active Directory to be able to deliver that. Within AppSense, we again do what's called conditions. We can do conditions by an OU. We can do conditions by a username, a user group, even into a computer level, MAC address, IP address, even going into Citrix, and we can do it based off of published applications names, or even a client IP address. So if you have a thin client connecting, we can say, if you have a certain application that maybe had customer data on it and a user is launching this from their house, not the company site, you don't want them to be able to print that data from home. We can recognize where they're launching it from, even their home IP address of their home machine, to make sure that those conditions exist or don't exist, and whether we allow them to print or not allow. So AppSense is basically in this, what I'm showing you right now, very detailed, and allows you to get down to that granular level without having complex scripting and manipulation within the Active Directory environment. Now, with going into the VDI space, we're talking basically today, what are those building blocks? When should we bring AppSense in? How should we do this? Well, if you're looking at going into that VDI space, most companies, they come to AppSense panicking when already manipulated within that VDI space. They have VDI up and running, whether it's Citrix or a third-party company, and they notice that, roaming profiles is not working. They know that the, products that they're using that are other products that are helping with their roaming profiles is not helping enough to be able to make the user satisfied within their environment. So AppSense normally will always come in, will help you grab that information, and we'll fix that problem within an environment. Truly, if you bring us in before you run that VDI project and you allow us to run in your existing physical desktop environment, when you actually go to migrate to your VDI or work in a hybrid mode, basically it's extremely easy. All you're doing is bringing up the VDI environment. So if this is the Citrix Zen desktop, you bring your Citrix people in, they bring up the Citrix environment. It has the OS, whether it's XP or Windows 7. AppSense already has the data that deals with the user's applications and settings. All the user has to do is log on. No complex transferring of data, no manipulating of profiles. All the user has to do is log on your environment. So it's very seamless to the user. But again, you can bring us in at any time. It depends on whether you want to panic and bring us in after the fact or be prepared and bring us in before the actual VDI project takes place. So again, today I want you to make sure you all understand is that AppSense works in all these environments, whether you're desktop, whether you're laptop, whether you're terminal services, Citrix, Zen desktop, or Zen app. It doesn't matter. Now, in this environment, if you want to migrate your existing profile, so if you already use roaming profiles as it is right now, we can select a single button here that says Migrate Existing Profiles. And what will happen, as I brought this up just a second ago, is we will then read what that user's profile is and then insert that into our backend SQL database. So in this case, I have Mandy's profile, and I read what she was doing within her environment, and so far I'm recording WinWord data and some Notepad data that she's launched. I can come in here and also discover what other applications that she has launched within her environment, and I can decide whether I want to manage it or not. So if I want to manage PowerPoint, I can come in here and convert to a discovered application, and this is how easy it is to manage PowerPoint. I'm going to say I want to manage it in all operating systems, and I want to manage it in all versions of PowerPoint, and I want to apply it to the AppSense group. Click OK, I'm done. I just decided I'm going to manage PowerPoint going forward. So no matter where she launches PowerPoint from now on, we will have that data available for Mandy when she launches PowerPoint. Now, again, like I said earlier, AppSense is not just about the roaming profile, which we call personalization, and we're not just about the policy side. We can do a couple other really neat things, and those are the things that I want to show you right now. A lot of companies use mandatory profiles within their VDI space so that you have a consistent look and feel of that image they're logging onto. But the problem is the users can't save their data, so they use roaming profiles. So you can't do mandatory and roaming together unless you're doing a roaming mandatory profile, and it causes issues. What if there's a problem within your environment and you want to make sure that problem gets fixed without having to log off? Well, I'm going to delete the actual WinWord icon onto the desktop here. So I'm just going to right-click here and delete it. And notice my trash can here. When I click yes or click delete shortcut, it actually appears in there. Well, notice Word already came